guys, it's Joshua Reviews. Halloween is literally in like 3 or 4 days. That's incredible. I can't wait. Can't you? No. I think it's time we review a special movie. A movie that you probably have heard of before, but I don't know if you guys have ever checked it out. So, when I watched Savage Land with my friend, we were kind of on the hunt for like scary ass mockumentaries because I think mockumentary found footage is the best type of horror. And there's only so many, but one that caught my eye, and it's found footage and it's a Halloween movie, is Ghostwatch. Now check this out. I absolutely love this. This is like a collector's item that I got for Christmas. And it comes with the movie. Comes with like some behind the scenes, talking about the production and whatnot. Not joking, comes with the script. And on top of that, comes with these little postcards or cards or whatever. So, Ghostwatch is really interesting. Let's talk about it because this movie has a really interesting history. So when this movie got released, it got released in the UK on BBC, and a lot of people thought it was real. This was back like in the 90s, I think. It was 1997, I think, or might have been 87. When did it come out? It came out 1996, I think. Yeah, 1996. And if you guys don't know the radio broadcast War of the Worlds, basically, this was before like the internet and, movies and show. Well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but anyways, people thought the radio broadcast of War of the Worlds was real because they were hearing over the broadcast that aliens were invading and people were committing suicide. There were riots. I mean, it was bad because people thought it was real. But then by the end of the broadcast, they were like, psych, it was a joke. Well, the same thing here. When this premiered on the BBC in the UK, a lot of people tuning in thought this was a real broadcast, like ghost paranormal hunter type show. And obviously it's not, it's a movie, but they didn't know that when this premiered. And ever since then, it's really hard to find a copy. It wasn't until just a few years ago, I think it was like maybe 3, they released this. And let me just start off by saying, I love this movie, but this is not a movie for everyone. Why? Because this movie feels legit, but I'm talking, it's legit. It's like you're watching a news broadcast. It's like you're watching a radio television program. There's no bullshit. This feels like something you'd watch on TV back in the 90s. So for a lot of people, it might not be entertaining because of how realistic it feels. It plays it, it's not your conventional horror movie. A lot of people nowadays, I feel like, are used to jump scares or, they're used to just like something always has to happen. Me, I don't mind it when a movie takes its time or if it's slow paced, but this movie is very slow paced. It takes its time setting you up with the ghost and what's like going on in the house because we're following this mom and her 2 daughters that are being haunted by a ghost named Pipes. And let me just say, Pipes is horrifying. The times you see him out of the corner of your eyes, you're like, oh, that's what he looks like. You know what's fucking scary? We've been having pipes issues, or, issues with our pipes. I just heard the pipes in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that. But Pipes in this movie is horrifying. He's the ghost that's haunting the parent or the mom and the 2 daughters. And there are some legitimately scary scenes in this movie because of how it's presented as this real, television broadcast. And I love that. That's what I love about this movie. There's next to no jump scares. Like, there's maybe one towards the end. That's it. Everything is slow moving, but because of how real it feels, you get pulled in, you get invested with the characters. And, you know, what I like about this movie is because it presents itself as real, the movie almost is like, it just brings you in. Like, you already know these people. Like, you've already watched several different broadcasts with these people. So it's like, it's like, for example, you're tuning into the news and everyone has like their own, news anchor they love watching, or, SNL sketch actor or whatever. And you're just like, oh, I know those guys, I like those people. And you're tuning into Ghostwatch and you know these people. So that's what I love about this movie. It's like, you could just, if you told me this was real up until like the last 20 minutes, because that's when obviously shit starts hitting the fan, I believe you. Because a lot of things that happen in this movie feel so legit, feel so real. There were scenes where it feels like how should I say? I think the house, or at least the haunting in this movie, was inspired by, I forget the name, so I'm just going to refer to it as the Conjuring 2 haunting, because I saw Conjuring 2. But I think this is based off that, haunting that happened up in the UK. I don't know exactly what the name of it is, but you can look it up for yourself. You can tell they took inspiration from that. And what's funny is that this movie was actually going to be a miniseries, a 3-episode miniseries, before they were like, let's maybe make it a TV movie. And it worked so well because people, after the broadcast ended, were calling the news station like, what the fuck? And what's fucking amazing about this movie is that while you're watching it, they will constantly say, if you guys have ghost reports that or you guys have had encounters with ghosts, call this number and, we'll try to get you on air. And throughout the movie, they take calls. And if you were watching this at the time, you'd be like, oh my God, that's, like that person got a spot on the broadcast. But in actuality, if you called the number, they would tell you that, hey, this is a movie. So just go back to watching the movie. They would tell you it's fake. But a lot of people didn't. A lot of people tuned into this late and they thought it was real. And keeping that in mind, I think that's why this movie doesn't work for a lot of people, because I've heard several people recommend it. I'm going to recommend it before I get, I'm going to just go ahead and say I love this movie. But this movie's not for everyone. It is not your standard horror movie. It's not a movie with a million jump scares. It's not a movie with, honestly, it's not fast-paced at all. This movie can easily feel like, longer than what it initially is. It's like an hour and a half, but I think some people said it feels like it's much longer. This movie, I feel like for a lot of people, could be very boring. But me, anytime I put it on, I'm invested in the story that that they present. I think the actors do a really good job portraying, because think of it this way. A lot of the stuff that happens in this movie, they have to nail that, perfect balance of, movie acting, but also pretending like this is a real, broadcast for television. So a lot of the actors had to work really hard for this, and I really, really like the acting in this movie. The acting is really good. But again, some people might not like that because of how it's presented, and especially because of the stuff we have nowadays with the internet. I mean, you could pretty much look up anything on the internet now. You could probably watch, I'd say there are movies out there that are way quicker paced, and I'll even say this, a lot of people will probably compare this to movies like Late Night with the Devil, which I saw and I really liked, and I might review it at some point during next Halloween. But this movie goes for that realistic approach, and I really like it. Obviously, the last 20 minutes, they kind of drop the ball, and the ghost starts attacking, but the way it's presented and done, you're just like, damn, people saw this on TV and thought this was real. That's crazy. I don't know why. That just, man, I wish I was there. I wish I was there watching it, because that would have been so cool, knowing that, afterwards, knowing it's like, oh, it's fake. Fuck, that's awesome. But again, it's very slow paced. It takes its time because it presents itself as a real ghost hunting program. A lot of people will probably not get into it. I mean, I showed this movie to 2 of my buddies and they weren't into it. So this is not a movie for everyone. But in my opinion, I love it. I honestly don't really have anything really wrong with it, other than the fact that, yeah, it's slow paced. And not only that, I don't think it's like great by any means, but I love it. Like, I love it, but like, I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's the best film ever made. Like, it's not groundbreaking, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to word it. So I'm just gonna give it an A. Just watch it. It's good, but if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Warned you. So, I just wanted to show this off again. I don't